Hello friends. Today I'm going to make a couple of cards using the Love and Courage set. This is a set to help support cancer. And I believe it's the set that's in the catalog that they give back. They give so many, I think it's like $2 per set sold, gives back to the organization that they're given to. So we're going to make 3 cards today using this set. So the first card we're going to do is this one. I'm going to set it up here. So we have a piece of Very Vanilla that's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and fold that in half. So then we're going to use, I get another piece that's probably like 4 by 5 1/4. And we are going to be using the third from the top of the Everyday Arches set. So that would be this set here. So you're going to want to go 1, 2, 3, and this is the one that you're going to use, okay? So we're going to go ahead and stamp on this. So I'm going to show you. And then also we're going to use the second and fourth from the top. So we're going to create this one, we're going to use this one, which is the second, and then you count down 4, and this is the fourth one. So that's the 2 that we use to cut this out. And we're going to do that in crushed curry. All right, so we're going to stamp our stamp first, do our stamping first. So I'm going to be using crushed curry and pecan pie. So let's do the inside first. Let's get that out of the way. So I'm going to stamp my inside. So we're going to put that right there, okay? And then we're going to stamp this. So this is I believe they call it like a kissing technique. We're going to ink this up, and then I'm going to pull out my pecan pie, and we're going to use a finger dauber, and I'm just going to go over right where the center of the flower is, okay? All right. And then we're going to stamp that on here, close to the top, right there. Okay, good. And let me get my, because we are going to use this again. So let me clean that real good. Good. Okay. So now we're going to stamp the word hope at the bottom in the crushed curry. So we should be done with that color for now. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this down with my Stampin' Seal. That right about in the middle. Good, like that. So I want to pop this up a little bit. I was using the smaller dimensionals for when I made this one, but I don't think I like it as well because some pieces were sticking out. So I have these foam strips. I think this one was a leftover from a paper pumpkin. So I'm just going to put some foam strips on here. And if you have one that's too long, we can trim it down a little bit. And then I'm just going to put one more at the top here. The one thing I like about these foam strips is you can make them fit like that. And then we're going to peel all the peepers off. Maybe. There's that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay. And then you're just going to lay it over top. This one's sticking out a little bit. Make sure you get it on there straight. And there you go. There's our first card. Okay. All right, so let's clean off our desk here. And we're going to bring in our next card, which is going to be this one. So this is the next card that we're going to do. Once again, this is Pretty in Pink. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold that over. Okay. And then we're going to take another piece of Pretty in Pink, and it's going to be 5 1/4 by 4. And then we're going to take our sunflower 3D embossing folder, and we're going to run that through the emboss with the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. All right, and we already did that. So then we're going to take another piece of basic white cardstock, and whatever size you need to make it here. I think I wrote it down. Hold on one second. It is 3.5 by 5 will fit for this die. And this is, once again, the third die down, or fourth. Hold on. I gotta look at my notes, sorry. Third from the top. 1, 2, 3. So yes, it's that one. Third from the top. We'll cut this size out. All right. And then you're going to need another piece that is 3 3/4 by 1 1/4, and that is using the Stylish Shapes dies, okay? That's going to be for your sentiment. So let's go ahead and do our stamping, and this is for the inside. Let's do our stamping. So our inside is, and we're using pecan pie for our words. So we're going to put this one on the inside. There we go. And then we're going to use this one for the front. Okay. And we're still going to need this color out, so let's keep that out. Let's clean our stamps so we don't accidentally put them in the wrong side. Okay. So now to make this, we're going to need to use, I just got some Post-it tape. So we're just going to tape off the words. So we're going to just go right here like this, put a piece of the Post-it note or whatever you have on that side. We're going to take our crushed curry and our pecan pie, and we are going to use our daubers again, finger daubers, and we're going to use the crushed curry, and we're just going to dab over all the flowers. Okay. This is a good way if you want to make your stamps have two or more different colors. Then we're going to take our pecan pie and we're going to go on the inside again. Okay. Make sure you peel this off first. And then we are going to stamp this at the top. Okay. There's half of our sunflower. Now we're going to bring our paper back over again. And we're going to do this all over again. Let me make sure I get the right color. Okay. So we're going to dab, dab, dab all over the outside of the sunflower. You can do this with whatever color you want to make your sunflower. And then we're going to do our centerpiece. Okay. Pull this off. Now we're going to try to line this up the best we can. Sorry if my head's in the way, I just got to see. And we're going to press down. Okay. Now, because I've got a little bit of a space here, we're going to take our finger dauber with the pecan pie, and we're just going to kind of go over it. And you can't even tell the difference that it's pieced together. All right. So let's clean this off because we're going to use it one more time for the third card. And we're going to start gluing our stuff together. So we're going to glue our insides. Okay. And we're going to put this on the outside. You can decide how you want your sunflowers to go, but I think I'm going to do it this way. And then we're going to get our dimensionals right here. And we're just going to put some dimensionals on. Oops, I forgot to use up. And make sure you use up all your dimensionals. Just because these aren't cut the way the ones on the middle are, you can still use them. They're still good. Nobody's going to look at the inside of or the underside of your card. So we're going to peel all these off. Ugh. There we go. We got them all off. Then we're going to go ahead and center right like that. Then we're going to take this piece. We're going to pop it up too. Okay, got that off. And then we're going to center this down here at the bottom. Now you can use whatever gems you want. I'm using the antique pearls. And I don't know if you knew this, but you can color your gems. Some of the gems. Like the clear ones, white ones. You just use your blender pen. I'm going to use Darling Duckling because Stampin' Up! Doesn't have crushed curry in the blends. So what you do is you just take this marker, the paintbrush marker, and you just go over whichever ones you want to do. And give it a few seconds to dry. It is alcohol based, but it takes a few seconds to dry. And then we're just going to put our colored gems on our paper or on our card. So there you go. There's that card. All right, we got one more card to go through yet. So let's bring that one in. That card is this one right here. And we are going to use basic white, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay. Then you're going to take your pretty in pink, 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4, run it through the embossing machine with the sunflower emboss. And there's that. You're going to need a piece of 3 1/4 inch squared. This is from the Stylish Shapes, and you're going to use the largest circle for that one. This is just a piece of scrap paper to do this ribbon here. Okay, so this time, let's get our stamping done. We're going to stamp the Friends, what does it say again? Friends don't let friends fight cancer alone. We're going to bring in our pretty in pink. And we're going to go ahead and ink that up. And then you're going to bring it in the inside of your card. And we're going to do that. All right, then we're going to take our circle and we're going to use our sunflower. And we're going to stamp that. Give it a few seconds for the ink to transfer. There we go. And then we're going to stamp a ribbon. There we go. Okay, that should be all the stamping. So let's go ahead and start assembling. Okay, we're going to put that piece on there. We are going to, we're going to use the dimensionals. There. And we're going to put this right in the center. Now we have to cut. We don't have a die for this ribbon, so we're going to have to cut it. So let me get some of this excess off first. So one tip that I've learned with fussy cutting, is what we call it, is to not move the scissors. Move your paper. So we're just going to start at an end. And we're just going to keep moving our finger. Try to do this quickly because I know it's a little boring watching somebody cut. All right. So if you are watching this and it is still October 2025, Stampin' Up! Has a wonderful join offer right now. You can get $125 worth of product for only $35. That is so crazy. I have never seen a deal like that from Stampin' Up! So you can get all the stuff you've been wanting. And then if you want to spend a little bit more for, I believe it's $99, you can get $189 worth of product. That is quite a deal. So please let me know if you are interested in joining Stampin' Up! You get a discount on all your products. You get early access to stuff that's coming out. We have so much fun creating and learning from each other. Now I am going to use the smaller dimensionals to put this on. And you can cut these. I'm actually going to cut this one. You can cut your dimensionals in half. I just don't want it sticking out. So we'll put one there, and we'll put one here. There we go, and let's peel these off. And then we're just going to pop it down here, just like that. There we go. All right, friends, there you go. I'll bring the other cards back in that we did today. Let's see if I can get them all to fit. Okay. So there you go. We made 3 cards with the Love and Courage set. So once again, if you like doing this and you think it's really fun, you can join in October 2025 for only $35. You can message me here on YouTube, or you can message me on Facebook and let me know if you're interested or if you want to talk some more about this deal. Have a great day. Bye.